What's a YouTuber that can be identified by one quote? I scrolled multiple of these and knew like two. Apparently I have had a completely different YouTube experience to most people. Will it blend? That is the question. Garbled screams and the sound of eggs smashing. I watch quite a bit of YouTube and literally recognize none of these. Does this mean I'm old and out of touch? This just makes me realize how niche the YouTubers I follow are and how out of touch I am with everything else. It's the show with hot questions, and even hotter wings. Who is a well-written, strong female character in a movie or TV show? Dana Scully in The X-Files. Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs. Sarah Connor in the films Terminator and Terminator 2, as well as in the television series Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Ellen Ripley in Alien. Colonel Samantha Carter, Stargate SG-1. Mona Lisa Vito, portrayed by Marissa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny. That movie is a masterpiece, and in no small part from her contribution. What things are controversial but shouldn't be controversial? Changing your opinion when presented with new information. Just simply saying no to someone instead of having to come up with an excuse. Saying you don't like something, everyone just about bites your head off. In the US, discussing your salary or wage. People who make fun of you for your income aren't worth your time. And sharing income can help everyone involved to make more. I'm not interested. Respecting people in dirty or lower jobs. I'm a custodian and for years I worked in schools. The teachers who were nice, respectful to us often got comments from their coworkers asking why they did that, especially when they did simple things to help us out like pull the trash for us when we were extremely short-handed or pick up all the big trash off the floor on a daily basis. What was the worst adult tantrum that you guys witnessed? I had a few happen when I work the deli counter at a Safeway. The deli closes before the store does because it takes considerable time to clean and sanitize everything from the fryers to the slicers. The tantrum that sticks out more than any is when a guy came in about 5 minutes before I'm due to punch out. He tells us he needs a lot of fried chicken, 10 orders of the 8-piece dark meat. My coworker and I are mopping the floors. The heat case is often cleaned. The salad's covered. And the fryers are drained. We couldn't have looked more closed if we stuck a neon sign over our heads saying so. We tell him that we can't fulfill his order. He goes ballistic. I've never seen anything so disproportional. I'm guessing he had a really bad day and we were the poor schmucks that got the brunt of his pent-up frustration. He rants that we're lazy and incompetent and to just turn on the King fryers. Just turn them on and make my King chicken. My coworker tries to use his best deep, calming voice to explain that even if we were to fill the fryers, it takes a long time to even heat them up to the right temperature. The guy stomps off and we think that's the end. Manager comes over, checks on us. We say we're fine and she goes back to the front. We're just about done when the angry guy comes back. Not even saying anything. He yanks open the cool case front and starts throwing all the salads at us. My colleague got a face full of coleslaw and I ended up with a foot covered in seafood salad. After the salads, he takes the lunch meats and starts spiking them on the ground as if we had just scored a touchdown. By now the manager is rushing over. The angry guy then storms out past her and out of the store. But the police station is quite literally next door, so he didn't even get to his car before they stopped him. Yes. We pressed charges. No. The smell of seafood never fully left my work shoe. A woman standing up mid-flight and angrily, loudly demanding that they land and let her off the plane immediately. Because she believed an air hostess had been rude. In her words, She refused to waste her money on an airline that employed rude people, and would not spend one moment longer on the plane. She began yelling very aggressively while the staff calmly tried to explain why they cannot land. Eventually she was restrained. I saw a woman come into the subway I worked at 9 a.m. and scream at us because we no longer serve pepperoni. It was apparently so awful it not only ruined her day, but her entire life. She vowed never to return and stormed out. My boss and I were both standing there flabbergasted. We never had stopped selling pepperoni. In fact, I had just finished restocking its container. Neither of us had any clue what she was on about. They pooed on the floor of my department. I was running a shift and they wanted a refund. After I said no because you haven't purchased the item from our company and it has another company's logo on it, they basically started stamping their feet and making a scene. Eventually they said if I don't give them a refund they'll poo on the floor. Out of curiosity I called their bluff and was like, okay, do it. They dropped their trousers and pooped right there in the middle of checkouts. They got a lifetime ban for that and I had to clear up poo. But at least I got a funny story out of it. While working the front desk at a hotel, a middle-aged man comes up to the desk, red in the face, because his key card has stopped working. It's just one of the magnetic swipe kind that are common to get deactivated by putting them next to magnets. Them accidentally getting deactivated is a common occurrence and an easy fix that takes all of 1 second to reprogram. I ask him for his key card to reprogram it and he starts yelling, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this happened. I try to explain that it is a common issue and I can reprogram right now for him easily. He ignores me. He starts pounding both his fists repeatedly on the front desk while yelling, I have never been more embarrassed in my life. I can't believe this is happening. I'm on vacation with my family. You've just ruined our entire vacation. I can't believe this. How could you embarrass us like this? Fists violently pounding while he yells. His head looks like it's about to explode. It was literally like a toddler having a tantrum. I have never in my life seen an adult act that way before or since. I was completely bewildered at why he was reaction in such a way just because his key needed reprogrammed. I had no choice but to snap out of professional customer service behavior and literally had to loudly yell at him to calm down, as if he was a child. This actually worked. I continued in a stern voice to loudly tell him that it's not a problem, that I can have it reprogrammed right now, and he can continue on to his room with no issues. He finally gives me the key. I redo it, hand it right back, and then he sulked away without another whoa. A sales guy the first worked with just earned a huge commission on a multi-million-dollar mortgage. Some of us convinced him he should take us out to dinner because we helped and he was a good sport. And we, sales guy and 3 low-wage earning women from support staff, went out to a local pub. The bank president was there, which was not unusual. He made the rounds of all the local places most nights after work. He came over to say hello, and when he found out why we were there he got angry that he hadn't been invited and started yelling at us and banging his fists on the table. Then he went back to his friends at the bar. We decided he had to be joking. There was no way he could be angry at us for that, so we decided we'd be funny too. We asked the server if she would bring him the check, but don't really leave it with him, and she thought it was funny too. So she did. He was not kidding. I've never seen a grown man have such a public tantrum in my life. He was screaming at us until we got up and left, and would not let us take the check back. I went to work the next morning and my boss, who was supposed to be with us but had something come up, was coming out of the president's office, and this guy, who did not swear in front of women, wanted to know WTF we did to make his boss so mad that he was trying to order my boss to fire the guy that got the commission. Later on, we figured it out. Because of that commission, the sales guy earned more money that year than the bank president. Subscribe, my brothers.